Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, Phil. Who was that? Just another day at the plant. Not really around here. And very unlikely to feeling at a successful plant in Northeast Ohio that you'll see tonight on NEOtropolis, not business as usual. Welcome to NEOtropolis. We are not business as usual. Hi, I'm your host, Jim Evans. From the work of our great reporters, crew, and partners, we strive to fire on all cylinders here on NEOtropolis, and that can be said also about the companies and organizations we feature each week. It's especially true for our focus tonight. A major car engine plant in Northeast Ohio has taken a unique approach with its workforce that has led to expansion and impressive quality ratings. So as you get revved up for that, we'll first take a look at regional business news from the NEOtropolis Good Business News Aggregator.
This is the Good Business News along the I-77 corridor for the week of May 16th. Tuesday's Cleveland Plain Dealer Metro section reports that although it's lagging slightly behind the U.S. economy, the 16-county region that makes up Northeast Ohio is starting to pick up. This, according to Team Neo, a Northeast Ohio business attraction group that analyzes federal statistics. Employment was up by nearly 40,000 jobs compared to last year in the same time period, and the gross regional product, which is the market value of all goods and services produced in the region, rose 1.9%. to approximately $172 billion. Tuesday's Cleveland Plain Dealer Business section reports that Brooklyn, Ohio-based American Greetings Corporation expects to spend tens of millions of dollars to build a new global headquarters in Northeast Ohio in 2012. The exact location of the headquarters is yet to be disclosed. Also, Tuesday's Cleveland Plain Dealer and Wednesday's Akron Beacon Journal business sections report that Orville-based J.M. Smucker Company has acquired the coffee brands and business operations of Miami-based Roland Coffee Roasters Incorporated for $360 million in cash. Tuesday's Akron Beacon Journal business section reports that Ohio is ranked number 5 on the Fortune 500 companies list, having 27 Fortune 500 companies in the state, which is up from 23 last year. Wednesday's Cleveland Plain Dealer business section reports that on Monday, the City Council of Beechwood voted to hire consulting company SZD Whiteboard to craft a new economic development strategy for the city. Wednesday's Akron Beacon Journal front page reports that according to U.S. News and World Report's Best Children's Hospitals ranking, the Cleveland Clinic and Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital and Akron Children's Hospital are among the best. This is the first time that Akron Children's has joined the list, ranking 31st in bone, 40th in lung, 42nd in kidney problems, and 48th when it comes to caring for critically ill newborns. Thursday's Cleveland Plain Dealer business section reports that Bedford Heights-based Olympic Steel is purchasing its 96-year-old competitor, Chicago Tube and Iron Company, for $150 million in cash and will assume $6 million of the company's debt. Thursday's Akron Beacon Journal business section reports that the University of Akron, through its Research Foundation, is one of several international partners that will be providing training in the elastomer conversion industry to high school students in Saudi Arabia. The partnership is the university's first global venture of this type and is expected to bring in about $33 million. The High Institute for Elastomer Industries will be located in Saudi Arabia, and the first class will be in September of 2012. This is the Good Business News along the I-77 corridor for this week. NEOtropolis is your source for good business news.
Tonight's show is enhanced by twin independent variable camshaft timing and direct injection. Sorry, I really didn't want to be too much of a motor mouth. And there's great word of mouth about a plant in Cleveland that makes motors, and how their people are doing it with some strategic help is making them an industry leader. We'll cruise to that in a couple of moments, so stay in gear. Right now, though, we shift to our content partner, the Business Journal. It's time for the Weekly Buzz.
I'm Michael Moliterno with the Business Journal Weekly Buzz for Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley. A major step in the construction of a new distribution center in Lordstown. The Trumbull County Commissioners have approved a 10-year 75% tax abatement for Anderson Dubose, which is a distributor to the McDonald's franchise. The new location at the Ohio Commerce Center would consolidate the company's operations and could lure about $34 million of new investment to the county. The state of Ohio has approved the relocation from Solon with about 150 employees to work out of the Lordstown site. More national praise for a Youngstown business incubator portfolio company. Lawn and Garden Retailer is giving accolades to Visual Impact Imaging. It praises the company's easy-to-use landscape and site design software. Visual Impact Imaging is a provider of professional software for the landscape industry. Its headquarters are in the YBI building on West Federal Street. Enrollment is way up at Kent State University's Trumbull campus. 1,785 students are enrolled, up nearly 600 from a year ago. That's a 47% increase. Those looking to buy a new Mercedes-Benz will soon have a sleek new showroom in which to shop. A larger inventory of the luxury brand will be housed at the new 3,000 square foot showroom under construction at Fred Martin Ford Mercedes-Benz on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. It's part of the automaker's effort to upgrade its retail presence in the U.S.
Fred Martin Ford last year sold 240 new Mercedes-Benz vehicles, and that was a new high for us. We expect that to go up.
The project, dubbed the Auto House concept, creates a standard look for all Mercedes dealerships in the country. After a 6-month search, a new president has been selected to head the Raymond John Wien Foundation. Jeffrey Glabaki is the founder and principal of Strategy Plus Action Consulting, based in Tucson. Glabaki is a native of Northeast Ohio. Chairman of the board Gordon Wien says Glabaki's expertise in capacity building and leadership development initiatives for grassroots organizations is in sync with the foundation's priorities and long-range goals. And those are this week's headlines. Be sure to check out the Buzz Newscast every business day online at businessjournaldaily.com. I'm Michael Moliterno. We'll see you next week.
And now it's time for a NEOtropolis fact.
Did you know that according to Census Bureau estimates, the median household income in the 8-county Cleveland area in 2009 was $45,787?
Fuel efficiency is such a big theme, and so is work efficiency, for that matter. And for our purposes tonight, there is a significant connection. Ford Motors' Cleveland engine plant in Brook Park produces the new EcoBoost engine. You've heard of it. And to boost its growing workforce to be more efficient, the plant has partnered with Cuyahoga Community College. They've implemented a special training program that has greatly enhanced productivity and employee involvement, so much so that this plant is one of Ford's best anywhere. Sarah Taylor was fortunate to get under the hood for an inside look and shows us how they're doing it.
When an old auto plant gets an opportunity to build a new, complex engine, how does it respond? Here at Ford's Cleveland Engine Plant 1 in Brook Park, it was in a not business-as-usual way.
When this plant only had 72 people in it, and I realized what was going to make us different and why Ford would want to invest in Cleveland Engine Plant 1, I thought it was imperative that we would use an educational perspective in order to get this business, and it really did pay off.
Guy Hamilton is the building chairman for United Auto Workers Local 1250. He's a veteran of the historic Ford facility in Brook Park. When it opened in 1951, Cleveland Engine Plant 1 was Ford's first engine plant in Ohio. Ford built a second engine plant here and a casting plant, which is now closed. Hamilton worked at the complex until being laid off in the 1980s. He entered the Navy, later returning to Cleveland and to Ford. What he found troubled him.
We had lost our edge as far as being able to get the machinery up and running in a faster time frame.
Engine Plant 1 was idled in 2007. Its workforce dwindled to 72. The future looked bleak. But through creative and productive negotiation, the plant was awarded production of a new engine on which Ford has high hopes, the EcoBoost.
You're getting V8 power out of a V6 engine. And what does that really mean to you? Well, if you put the EcoBoost engine in an F-150 pickup truck, used to be you'd get 14, 15 miles to the gallon on an F-150. You are now getting 22, 23 miles to the gallon out of an F-150. But you're also able to tow and pull 9,300 pounds. So, I mean, you're getting the towing capacity of a V8 with the V6 performance.
And at $4 a gallon, that's pretty attractive.
It makes it a whole lot better, yes, ma'am.
We build it, first of all, in Cleveland, Ohio, in our Cleveland engine plant. and we pulled it right off the line, the assembly line.
So strongly does Ford believe in the EcoBoost engine that it put it through what it called the torture test. A series of videos documents how the engine responded. You can find all 6 episodes on YouTube.
Watch as we take a randomly selected EcoBoost engine and run it through a series of grueling durability tests to prove how tough it is.
You could argue the Cleveland workforce is as tough and resilient as the engine it now builds. When confronted with a new way of building these engines, they adapted.
To come in and now be retrained, retooled per se. We've even had dexterity classes because the casting plant folks are used to working like this, and now we're working in this type of environment.
The union helped by working with Ford to enlist a training partner, Cuyahoga Community College.
Ford had the vision to say, here's a new product, here's a new opportunity, and the EcoBoost engine is a very, very fuel-efficient product and very much needed when gasoline is at the current levels.
John Gajewski is a leader in Tri-C's Workforce and Economic Development Division. The college's efforts have earned mention in a new book, The Next American Economy, Blueprint for a Real Recovery.
As we have advisory councils and committees for manufacturing, for skilled trades, for industrial automation, for all the various technical disciplines where we provide training, and we meet with the advisory councils from industry biannually, and what they help us do is to determine, is our curriculum and training program what they need? Are there trends that we need to be anticipating? And then our big question is, now that we are training people, are you hiring them? And if you're not hiring them, what can we do to make them a better employee?
When Ford and the UAW approached Tri-C, Gajewski says the partnership developed rather easily. He credits reasonable people committed to meeting a need.
Okay, when I say reasonable people, it's people without agendas. They want to work for the common good of their plant or their community or their company or their membership. And what we're able to do is just put aside any type of personal agendas or personal biases we would have to say that for the common good of the plant, the community, the workforce, here's what we want to do from a standpoint of a training program.
It is a disc valve motor, and at the same token they have a gerotor on the backside. The way they determine the size of these is by the gerotor.
Workers have access to a variety of classes like this one in hydraulics. Tri-C has a project manager on site at Ford. One of the main programs they run is a back to basics minor maintenance course.
The 4-week fundamentals, they get a fundamental class, so we level everyone. They get understanding of measurements. We take them back through math. We take them through conversions from metric to English, English to metric. So it's a fundamental class, but it's a needed class because some of the employees that we have haven't been in school for 20, 25 years.
That's huge because it sets a new benchmark in the industry. It's like that puts, in my mind, puts Ford ahead of the curve, not behind the curve. It makes a much better environment, more efficient environment for the worker that's on the manufacturing floor.
Ford has made a substantial commitment to the plant's training program. Robinette says $1.7 million. By working with an accredited institution like Tri-C, Ford is eligible to receive grant funding to cover some costs. Robinette says Tri-C has been very flexible, much better than relying on equipment manufacturers, whom he says are more costly and rigid. And there are benefits for the employees, too. They can earn 10 credit hours toward an associate's degree in engineering.
So we understand the fact that at any time, based on the consumer, the outside consumer buying our product, that our volumes could shift, and unfortunately there's a potential for layoff. So I felt that the most important thing was to give our membership the opportunity to get college credits so that if anything would happen in the event of a layoff or no longer wanting to be with the company, it would give them an opportunity on the outside to competitively compete in the job market.
Ironically, some workers who've been laid off have been called to work by other auto manufacturers. Opportunities for well-trained manufacturing workers in Ohio will only grow, according to Tri-C's Gajewski. The school offers extensive training programs.
My opinion is that community colleges working with corporations will be needing to put training programs in place so that the incumbent mid-career worker and early career worker can receive the technical training so they can replace the experienced knowledge worker that's leaving.
And Gajewski expects a lot of openings. He estimates 200,000 of Ohio's 600,000 manufacturing workers will be retiring in the next 4 years.
The manufacturing worker of tomorrow is roughly the 6th or 7th grade today. So what education and what corporations need to do is begin to reach into the K through 12 system to ensure that the young people who would consider manufacturing as a viable career give it the consideration that it's due. Again, 200,000 replacement positions is not insignificant. Now, incidentally, manufacturing, the average manufacturing worker earns more money, wages and salaries, than the average healthcare worker.
This engine has a lot of life left in it.
After being put through extreme conditions and run for more than 160,000 miles, the torture-tested EcoBoost is shown to still meet the standards of a newly built engine. Credit Cleveland workers who take pride in what they do and have come to appreciate the value of the education they're receiving.
You have a lot of people coming through the classes. When they first started, it was, oh no, I have to go to class, I have to do this. I have people asking me to take classes now. So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing all the way around for Ford and for the employees.
Robinette sees it as a new way of thinking being embraced by the automaker. It's something he strongly believes, especially because of his own personal experience starting out at Ford.
But I was actually told that you were paid to put parts on a vehicle, not to think. And that was a great waste of part of our employees. Our employees are the most valuable asset that Ford has. And to be able to upskill them and to utilize that knowledge is something that I think Ford has finally realized that it's very important to do.
And it's paying off. Right now, the plant has more than 800 employees, producing 900 engines during each of its 2 shifts. And the quality is measurable.
Our quality metrics from an industry standpoint with the complexity of this engine are in the top 5. From a FTT standpoint, and that's first time through is what FTT stands for, we are on the leading edge. With our EcoBoost engine, there's a lot of complexity as far as the coolant lines and stuff that cools the engine and those kind of things. That it's the most complex engine right now that Ford builds, and it's just a testament to the folks here in Cleveland Engine Plant 1 for the work that they do on that floor day in and day out.
The way that they manufacture an engine downstairs, it's incredible. I walk down there probably once a week. I just like to get that exercise anyway, but I watch how everything works with the robots, with the folks on the line, and how they machine things now. It's just amazing. The technology is incredible, and we just have to get the workforce up to speed where the technology is, and I think we're doing that right now.
Tri-C has trained some 800 workers here at the Ford plant in Brook Park, and with demand increasing for the EcoBoost engine, and because this is the only plant where that engine is built, it's likely they'll be training many more. In Brook Park, I'm Sarah Taylor for Western Reserve PBS.
With plants like this, things look strong now and down the road for Ford. And with that, it's time now for Into the Future.
Into the future. Hello, my name is Ann Boehner. I'm a graduate of The Ohio State University, where I studied landscape horticulture. Upon graduating and working in the field, it became apparent that there was a true need for the use of technology in this $57 billion landscape service industry. My company, Visual Impact Imaging, specializes in the development of a design software called Earthscapes. Our customer base stretches nationwide and includes industry personas such as landscape contractors, garden centers, schools, and landscape design build firms. Our design platform offers professional photo editing and graphics tools to transform a digital photo into a landscape oasis. The result is an instant landscape that wows clients as well as sells jobs. The design aspect is coupled with a 2-scale site plan design. Our office housed at the Youngstown Business Incubator, is constantly providing us with the resources to continue to develop and improve upon our application. It is with these resources that we can reach new milestones in innovation. Whether you are a builder, contractor, landscape designer, retail garden store, or garden enthusiast, we would love to share our products with you in greater detail. You can contact the Visual Impact Imaging Office at 330-259-7661 or locate us online at www.visualimpactimaging.com. Thank you.
You know, we like to check that financial engine, and the experts at NCA Financial Planners are here now to do that with the stock wrap.
This week's local company spotlight is Lincoln Electric Holdings, headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio. Lincoln Electric is a global manufacturer and market leader of high-quality welding, cutting, and joining products. The company was founded by John C. Lincoln in 1895. John's brother James joined the company in 1907, and they expanded their product line to include battery chargers for electric automobiles. By 1911, Lincoln Electric introduced the first variable voltage single operator portable welding machine in the world. Today, Lincoln Electric has 41 manufacturing locations, including operations and joint ventures in 19 countries, and the worldwide network of distributors and sales offices covering more than 160 countries. Lincoln Electric employs a global workforce of more than 9,000 people. First quarter sales were just under $600 million, an increase of 27% over the first quarter of 2010. Operating income increased 71% to $59.5 million, and net income increased 97.7% to $46.9 million during the same time period. Recently, the company announced a 2-for-1 stock split scheduled for May 31st, 2011, in addition to a quarterly cash dividend of 31 cents per share on a pre-split basis for the second quarter. Lincoln Electric trades on the NASDAQ under the symbol LECO. The midweek close was $74.11. Year-to-date, the stock is up a very impressive 13.5%, and over the past 5 years, up over 42.5%. And now back to you, Jim.
It's always a great ride when you're headed to anything culture and entertainment in Northeast Ohio. We have the guy with the single overhead cam to get us there without compare. Cool Cleveland's Thomas Mulready joins us now to tell you about some other events that are going on in NEOtropolis this weekend. What we're talking about is the business of fun.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and this week we want to talk about all the great libraries that we have in Northeast Ohio. You know, Ohio has some of the best libraries in the entire country, and there's a ranking system called Hennen's that ranks all the libraries, and of the top 100, Ohio has 30 of the top 100 libraries right here in our state, and Northeast Ohio has the majority of those. Libraries anymore are more than just a place to check out books. They are real, true community centers. They are places where people can go and get job skills. They can attend free workshops. They can use the computer. They have research resources for people in business, especially entrepreneurs. They know this is the secret to our region. We've got these great libraries and the library assistants that can help them. There are computers in these libraries. There are kids programs. There are teen programs. Programs for seniors as well. A lot of them now have iPhone and mobile apps, and they're offering books on download. And so you can get your books really for free from the library, and you can read them on your iPad, or you can read them on your iPhone or your Android. There's also a service called Know It Now 24/7 in this region where you can ask a librarian almost any question. They have summer programs for kids. So, and you know, this is a reason we have such good libraries. We continually pass our library levies. If we look at the rankings, there are some library systems that are just superb. For example, we're here at the Cuyahoga County Public Library, and this is the Parma branch, but there are branches all over throughout the region. This is the #1 library system, ranked #1 for libraries over 500,000. That includes the New York Public Library, any library you can mention. Cuyahoga County beats them all. And then for smaller libraries as well, for 50,000 or smaller communities, Euclid has a great public library. Willoughby, the Lakewood Public Library, is an award-winning library. The Porter Public Library in Westlake. And if you get even smaller, 25,000 community, Shaker Heights, North Canton. The smaller ones, 10,000, Twinsburg. For 10 years in a row, the Twinsburg Library has made this best of ranking. And even the smaller ones with a small community of 5,000, Canal Fulton is one of the top libraries in the entire country. So check out your public libraries. This is Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in NEOtropolis.
As we leave you, always remember there are things that you can do to help the Northeast Ohio economy. One way is to get out to any of the events Thomas told us about and make your investment in fun. You can also position yourself out there and make your brilliant comments about the Northeast Ohio economy to the people who are working smart and efficient with you, and tell them to spread the word. Also remember to log on to our website, neotropolis.org, and tell us what you think. I'm Jim Evans. We'll see you next week on NEOtropolis, not business as usual.
Funding for NEOtropolis has been provided by the Burton D. Morgan Foundation, committed to the free enterprise system.
First Place Bank is proud to sponsor NEOtropolis. As a community bank, First Place Bank believes we are only as strong as the communities we serve. Locally owned businesses are the cornerstone of our communities. We concentrate on helping local businesses make the most of their resources through a variety of services delivered with a community banking touch.
The Dominion Foundation. JumpStart, working with entrepreneurs to accelerate the growth of their high-potential businesses to create a more prosperous economic future for Northeast Ohio. Youngstown Business Incubator. And NorTech.
Next week on NEOtropolis, more buzz, stock wrap, and into the future. Find out who is not doing business as usual. Now stay tuned for Newsnight.